In March 1888, Kaiser Wilhelm Hohenzollern I died. Wilhelm I's first eligible child was Corona Ted Kaiser Friedrich Hohenzollern IV. After the funeral, Wilhelm I's other son Prince Alois Hitler the Hohenzollern, his wife Princess Clara, and his only eligible child Prince Edmund decided to go on holiday to take a break in their grief. They travelled to one of my royal family's favourite holiday destinations at the time, what is now Gippsland, Australia, to take their break. Whilst on holiday, Princess Clara became pregnant with twins. During the latter stage of the pregnancy, Princess Clara was becoming ill, and there was genuine concern for the unborn children. Prince Alois looked around and decided to rent a small, immaculately clean and modern two-bedroom hospital, housed in a house with a large attic, for his wife to complete the pregnancy in. He paid for exclusive use of the entire building and its staff, including full use of the two fully equipped upstairs attic hospital rooms. He stayed at the hospital with Prince Edmund during the final days of the pregnancy. On the 20th of April, 1889, 13 months after Kaiser Wilhelm I died, his grandson Prince Adolf Hitler the Hohenzollern was born. Adolf's birth was followed by the very sad news of a deceased-born twin that didn't make it through the final stages of the pregnancy. Princess Clara and new Prince Adolf took some time to regain better health after the birth, resting in the rented hospital. When Princess Clara and Prince Adolf were well enough, the deceased-born twin was quietly buried in what is now Mo Memorial Cemetery. They left Gippsland to return to Germany with documentation about Prince Adolf's birth. When they arrived back in Germany, they discovered that there was a new Kaiser. Wilhelm Hohenzollern II had been crowned Kaiser, as his father Kaiser Friedrich IV had abdicated to him after a reign of only 99 days. Prince Alois was officially informed he was the new Crown Prince Hohenzollern. Crown Prince Alois then informed new Kaiser Wilhelm II that there was a new addition to the royal family. Prince Adolf born in Gippsland on the 20th of April. Kaiser Wilhelm II authorized Prince Adolf into my royal family as one of his first duties as the new Kaiser. Former Kaiser Prince Friedrich Hohenzollern IV then retired from royal family life in Germany. He moved to what is now called Gippsland, Australia, for the rest of his life in 1890. He travelled to Gippsland on a ship called Polly Woodside, which I inherited in 1982. Prince Edmund was placed in hospital with a severe case of German measles shortly after his 11th birthday in 1897 as a precautionary measure. He was murdered whilst in hospital aged 11 during the reign of his cousin Kaiser Wilhelm II. His parents were lied to and told it was a rare complication associated with German measles that caused Prince Edmund's death. He was murdered by a small group of New Zealanders with white hair and blue eyes who cut his throat in hospital. Their main motive being he looked too much like one of his mother Princess Clara's ancestors, Julius Caesar. The perpetrators then carefully operated on his body to cover up the wounds that caused his death and showed his body to his parents. Prince Edmund Hitler the Hohenzollern was buried with his younger brother Prince Adolf's deceased twin in Mo Memorial Cemetery, Gippsland, Victoria, Australia. In 1899, Wilhelm II was Kaiser, Alois was Crown Prince, and Prince Adolf was second in line. The only three left eligible to be monarch. Because the other monarchy, the Kingdom of Prussia, was destined to become permanently defunct when Kaiser Wilhelm II died, the decision was made to hold a once-a-century referendum in January 1900. It was to determine if German citizens wanted to retain my monarchy in their national constitution, or end the concept of constitutional monarchy in Germany completely, to coincide with the Kingdom of Prussia becoming permanently defunct when Kaiser Wilhelm II died. A yes vote result effectively meant endorsing Crown Prince Alois Hitler the Hohenzollern and Prince Adolf Hitler the Hohenzollern, aged 10, as the next two Kaisers of Germany to be. The vote result was over 90% yes to retain. Adolf became Crown Prince Adolf Hitler the Hohenzollern, heir to his cousin Kaiser Wilhelm II, in 1903 when his father Crown Prince Alois Hitler the Hohenzollern was murdered. Crown Prince Alois was abducted by a terrorism group taking orders from an evil lunatic called Albert Einstein, Adolf's biological cousin. Crown Prince Alois was disabled via his spinal cord being deliberately cut and then tortured for information by the fake physicists' terrorism group. They documented it all with photographs. Depending on what is searched for on the internet, some of those photographs will appear. The terrorism group then dragged Crown Prince Alois' body to a bar. They made up a fictional story claiming he was quite drunk and a bit rowdy. They pretended he suddenly yelled, then collapsed on the floor. As if he had a catastrophic sudden stroke, which disabled him from the neck down and was eventually fatal. Crown Prince Alois' body was carefully arranged to cover up on the physical torture perpetrated on him by the terrorism group. Crown Prince Alois' murder left his wife Princess Clara a widow and his only remaining eligible royal son Adolf Crown Prince. When it came time for someone to identify Crown Prince Alois' body officially, they decided not to call his wife. They called his 13-year-old son Prince Adolf instead, as if the idea was amusing. Adolf was asked to identify his father's body and shown to a room where Alois was carefully placed on the floor to look like he had collapsed dead with a beer stein in his hand. Even though he didn't drink beer. Prince Adolf collapsed on the floor in shock and grabbed the front of his father's clothing and started crying. He was made to sign the body identification documents himself afterwards. Even though legally he was not eligible to, as he was only 13 and not his father's next of kin. The state funeral was officially Royal Hohenzollern, organized by Prince Alois' grieving nephew Kaiser Wilhelm II. Crown Prince Adolf's semen was then stolen by the same terrorism group 3 years later, in 1906, when he was in hospital during a general anesthetic operation. Around the 27th of August, with plenty of photographs taken of the assault. A crew was sent to the hospital from Switzerland to assault the Crown Prince when he was under anesthetic. Around 7 months later, the firstborn child to then Crown Prince Adolf's stolen sperm was born. The child was officially registered as Donna Podolsky by her mother Janet Podolsky, with no mention of its biological father. Janet was murdered in a bunker in Berlin in 1945, whilst pretending to be a fictitious character called Eva Braun. Her daughter Donna Podolsky was the only reason she was there in Berlin, pretending to be Eva in 1944 and 1945, whilst Kaiser Adolf was in prisoner of war jail in Yugoslavia. As soon as the firstborn baby to Crown Prince Adolf's stolen sperm was born, they abducted and murdered Adolf's mother, Princess Clara Hetler the Hohenzollern, documented with photographs. Crown Prince Adolf became an orphan at 18. Princess Clara's murder was timed to ruin Kaiser Wilhelm II and his cousin Crown Prince Adolf's Christmas in 1907, as if a reverse gift from their biological cousin Albert Einstein. Orphaned 18-year-old Crown Prince Adolf really had no choice but to accept enrollment at a boarding school, with limited time staying with his cousin Kaiser Wilhelm II.